Welcome to In Between Cuisine. Let me ask you a question. When you go out to eat at an Italian restaurant, what's your go-to order? Mine used to be chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I love it. I love cream sauces. Any white sauce is just my go-to. But I don't order anymore just because I figured out how to do it at home for a fraction of the cost in just a little bit of time. So today I'm going to be preparing for you two different versions. One with cream and one without cream, and see which one we like more. Let's get started. So the first one we're going to do is the no cream Alfredo sauce. And we're just going to use some boxed dry fettuccine pasta, just some fresh grated Parmesan cheese, and butter. That's all you need to make this super quick, super simple, cream-free fettuccine Alfredo. All right, so we have our pasta boiling in salt water. Always remember, boil your pasta in salt water. You always want to season the water when you're boiling your pastas. And over here, I have just a little bit of butter starting to melt on the pan. You want to start that right when your pasta is getting to that al dente texture, which is almost done, but not quite done. That's actually good to take off. Spread this butter around here on this pan. Should be getting nice and melted. And then what you do, bring your pasta directly from the water into the pan. Alright, if you get some of that water in there, you actually want that. I only did a little bit of pasta. I did about one serving, so I weighed it out. It was about 0.7 ounces of the pasta. Get that nice and incorporated with this butter over here. And then add the cheese. Here's some grated Parmesan cheese just over the top. That's what's good about this. You could add this little single serving and do the cheese however you want to do it, because it's pretty much just a single serving just for you. Of course, you could always make this in bigger portions and feed 2 people, 4 people, whatever you like. So if it's too thick, like that, add some pasta water. And that will thin it up. Still let that cook. And then if it's too thin, you add cheese. And then you just kind of play that little game until you get the consistency that you're looking for. I mean, I know what I like. I like cheese. So I always go for a little bit of a thicker version. And so you want to keep stirring this around. Make sure all that cheese gets incorporated with the pasta until there's no clumps left. So once you have stirred it and the consistency is how you like it, simply remove from the heat, put directly onto your plate. And there we have very simple, very basic fettuccine Alfredo with no cream. It's definitely cheesy. You can see that. And tastes absolutely delicious. And what'd that take to make? I don't know. You have to wait for the pasta to boil. Other than that, man, this was minutes to make. So this way is great. Now let's try a way with cream and see if we can't step it up just a little bit. Alright, you guys, I'm waiting for the water to boil for our cream chicken fettuccine Alfredo. I just want to take this time real quick. If you could, please just give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. You don't understand how much that really helps this channel. Please comment below if you have a dish that you want me to make as well. Give me one of these. Subscribes, and don't forget to ring that bell. All right, so for our cream version of chicken fettuccine Alfredo, I know we didn't put any chicken in the first one. I'm just gonna put it into the second one because it's gonna be making a lot more. So for this one, we're going to try using some fresh pasta. I didn't make it myself, it's store-bought, but it's still fresh pasta. Probably not going to get into too much about making your own pasta at this point. Later on in the future, my channel, I'll definitely get into making our own pastas. But this is a great substitution for now. Got our heavy whipping cream. Got our shaved Parmesan cheese this time instead of the grated, but you can still use the grated, that's fine. And of course we got some chicken breast tenders. And so while our next water is going to be boiling, let's go ahead and just cook this chicken till they're a little brown on each side. Once you have a good color on your chicken and it's cooked all the way through, go ahead and remove it from the heat and set aside for now. And those were seasoned with just a little bit of salt and pepper. All right, with that chicken set aside, and I went ahead and cubed it as well, just cut it up into small cubes. I have my butter melting down in my cast iron. And couple things I forgot to mention, you will need half of an onion and 4 garlic cloves for this recipe as well. Start with your onion. Remember, garlic cooks really fast, so start with your onion first before you add your garlic. Just go ahead and give that a good saute. Once those onions have sauteed for a bit on their own, go ahead, start adding your garlic. As you can see, I love garlic. You don't have to put 4 cloves if you don't want to. 2 or 3 would probably work. Just my preference. And go ahead and saute that for just about 30 seconds or so. Once that garlic sauteed just for a little bit, and you want to add your cream before you get too much brown on your onions or your garlic. You don't want to kill the color of that nice white Alfredo sauce. So we're going to go ahead and add, this is 1 pint of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to let that cook and bring it to a slow boil. Now once that has come to a slow boil, go ahead and add half your container of the Parmesan cheese and cook that in. Once that first half is all melted in, reduce the heat a little bit. Go ahead and add your second half. This is going to get nice and thick. Once that second half is all cooked in, you get that nice little bubbly look. Go ahead and re-add the chicken that we had cooked earlier. And give that a good stir in. Now once your chicken's in, you want to let that cook just for a few minutes. And while that's happening, we're going to go ahead and make our fresh pasta. We're going to go ahead, just because it's fresh pasta, and just go add the whole packet in here, which is going to make a lot. Just always stir and keep an eye on your fresh pasta. It cooks a lot faster than dry pasta. That dry pasta we had earlier took about 10 to 12 minutes to cook. This fresh pasta is only going to take about 2 minutes. So you always want to make sure you're always standing by it whenever you're doing your fresh pasta. Okay, it's been 2 quick minutes. Gonna turn off that heat, and then we're actually gonna use the same principle as we did for the last dish. We're just gonna go ahead and put this pasta directly into the sauce. The reason I'm doing that is just in case this sauce is a little too thick, you want some of that good pasta water to help thicken it up, or not make it so thick. So let's put all this in there. Give this a good stir. Reduce this heat. Get all the noodles covered with that great Alfredo sauce you just made. Yes, you just made from scratch. Once you have stirred it all in together, you are pretty much done. Just so happens we didn't need any of our pasta water this time. I like the consistency that it came out with. But if you like it thinner, add some of that yummy pasta water directly into there and stir that around until you get the consistency that you want. Again, if it's too thin, you could always add more cheese. So this is what you should end up with, if you guys could all see that. Big old pot of yummy chicken creamy Alfredo. Let's put it on a plate and see what we got. All right, there's the final product, everyone. Still steaming. You can see it's a lot thicker, a lot creamier. In my opinion, a lot tastier. But it's not about my opinion, it's about what you guys think. Here's a little side-by-side comparison. Hopefully you guys can see the differences here. We have our no cream and our cream. And so there you have two different ways to make the classic Alfredo sauce. Which do you like better, the cream, the no cream, or somewhere in between? Comment down below and let me know. See you next time.